Hello, everyone. We are
finally
L-I-V-E live, as Risey would say. L-I-V-E live.
live. Hey, everybody. Sorry about the wait.
I'm not sorry. Fuck you guys. I don't give
It
a
was
shit.
Dean's fault.
You guys can wait for all I care. I don't care.
Like, really, it's always Dean's. No.
Yeah, you think
it was
I give
partly
a shit?
my fault.
At first.
But
then it was my fault, and I'll take the blame because
it was all Dean.
I don't.
We
care
could have been
about
on time.
You guys. I don't.
I was
like
ready
you.
to go before 11.
I don't like any of you. I don't even like Vicky.
Thank you.
No,
that
I'm
means
joking.
A lot. It really does.
I love all you guys. You're all great. And thanks for showing up. Because you don't have to. It's way easier to not show up.
Yeah, it is.
So I do appreciate it. SJW Cap says late again. He didn't say again, but I did.
He should have. He should have.
I always like how Lorenzo's icon will not load. It never does for us. I can see it in the chat, but not on stream.
OBS does not like Lorenzo. Is discriminating against altrusions, I guess.
The greenest. Luster Dog says this thumbnail is as grainy as a scanned Isom page.
When the stream rescheduled, Google broke the thumbnail.
Yeah, it was very weird.
Said it was there, couldn't fix it.
Well, it was like that before it was rescheduled, actually.
No, it showed up in my subs fine in my list.
Oh, it didn't show up for me on YouTube though. Just in like the actual thumbnail part of your profile, but like when you're looking at the stream waiting, it didn't.
No.
Yeah. Vicky, nobody cares what she said. Jack says ahoy.
Ahoy, Jack.
Yeah, and people just saying hi. PR Memo.
That's a hi.
Memo. Yes. Let's see. What is going on here? Okay, well that's it for the chat, guys. Privateer, not private.
Right. Pirate.
Privates.
We really don't want to talk about your privates, Dan.
Well, I do.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm in control of the stream. No, we got a wonderful show for you guys. And I made something for you all to enjoy. Check it out. Check him out. It's now we're tiptoeing Eric.
Hey, funny.
Now he's moonwalking.
He should always moonwalk.
I hope you guys like that. It took me a minute. Actually, it was very, very fast and easy to make. But look at him. There he goes. No more John. We don't let alleged spousal abusers on our stream.
Yeah, not anymore.
Yeah.
None of that.
It's fucked up.
Yep.
Fuck John. Fuck John. But we have a wonderful show for you guys. We're going to start off with Vicky made a video called July DMCA. I don't know if you guys know this, but she was recently false flagged by a very short man.
The fragile little flower of a man.
His height is only, matched by his thin skin or something. You guys get the joke. He's thin-skinned and he's short, okay? That's the joke.
He's JDA, but black.
Yeah, he's the black JDA. Oh, yeah. All right. And successful. Yeah. I will give him that. John is not successful in the slightest.
Well, not on his own, no.
Not at all.
No.
All right.
All right.
Again, I apologize for having the world's most retarded detractors. This is actually going to be one of the last videos that I do kind of on this topic. Now, I'm going to set the scene for you. Last couple of days, there have been guys that have gone on like a pirate campaign. Let's just call it exactly what it is. These idiots have gone out of their way to try to, affect the pockets of the company pirating the site, admitting to it, and more so encouraging people to do exactly that. Others just posting several, I'm talking like on up to 30 pages or more of this book for everybody to see, even though we've not released any digital copies or anything like that. And Twitter took some of those guys down. As far as the post, only been like a few guys that have done that. You haven't been taken down, have you? You can say it sucks, you can say it's trash, you can think it's the worst thing in the world. Nobody's knocking that. Even if you're posting like a pound or two, nobody's knocking you for that. I mean, but yeah, you're not smarter than our lawyers, number one. And this isn't the case of what's going to the government or anything. This is Twitter's specific policy. Go watch my previous video on this topic. I'll address right
I like
now.
how you went from
Is
this is going to be my
false
last
claim,
to.
false DMCA.
Did you see the one? Go watch the one yesterday.
Striking as if we're mass flagging people over at the Riververse. People know that's an absolute lie. There's been no mass flag by the Riververse. There've been only, I think, 3-4 people that have been taken down. 4 actually. And I'm going to explain exactly what it is that they did. But as far as DMCA, I think people need to understand how that works. DMCA is not some like catch-all. By the way, DMCA actually, to appeal to it, you're forced to if you're like what they deem as an online service provider, and they'll say that, you know, they'll use that term willy-nilly, but basically companies are forced to have people that deal with that specific issue, which is why it's always appealed to. And that's the problem with this whole thing of like IP and how it acts in this country, or any country for that matter, and that it doesn't incentivize creative market ways to benefit the creators, which is really all that's what we're debating. Benefit the creators is what people want, and not have their stuff bit off of, or what some people would deem as stolen. I get it, it's not in the traditional sense, but if you look at like section 512, it forces these people, like these companies, to appeal to it, like the platforms, and that's why it is that they certainly do that.
Okay, there's so much. There's a little much actually to unpack right in there, but like they're forced to. Of course, they're forced to. It's a law. Like, you know, the idea of DMCA and IP protection not incentivizing creators is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. It incentivizes them because it helps protect them. My God, like I'm not anti-DMCA here, people. I'm not against intellectual property, but that is just the dumbest thing I've heard. And well, not the dumbest, because I've been I've got ripitards all up in my notifications. But yeah, of course they have to.
Yeah, no, like, because it's a they don't want to be liable for like,
what are they gonna do?
Yeah,
it's just stupid.
This is their own terms of service. Yeah, because it's compliant with the law, and that's what they're saying. You stupid midget.
He sits and two. I don't know if any of you guys watched. Probably not, because who really wants to watch this shit? His first video about the DMCA, right, with the sarcastic title, he never said there were specific people, like one guy did this and one guy did that, which he goes on to do here, and I'll get to listen to it. But he literally just lumped everybody who he had struck into one big group, and they did all this. It was like listening to a fucking Tug video, right? Where nothing is specific and nobody is named, and it's just this they up in the ether, right? So for 24 hours, I had people accusing me of all sorts of shit that I never did because of the way he purposely worded the video. And if he didn't purposely do it and he just did it because he's an idiot,
it's not
there's
much
no
better.
help for that. It's not.
It's probably worse.
You're right.
But like, as that pertains to like fair use, I think is very important if you're going to appeal to that law. I know there's I think misconceptions here where people think that piracy and that is, or how ethical you got the content it is that you're talking about is separate from fair use, and that's simply not true. You can go to the copyright office right here, and they specifically tell you that. For example, like using, if you lose number 1 and number 4 here, and these main points it is that they make in section 107 of the Copyright Act, it says like purpose and character of the use is important to it. Also, the amount and substantiality of it is important, as well as, of course, this is the most important one, is that the impact of the potential market for this. So are you depriving these people of sales potentially, and obviously.
No,
he is this is the dumbest fucking shit, right? Because one, he never actually shows anywhere in this video, and I did clip the rest of his going, a little bit more into this because it was just so retarded. But he never gets around to showing you where in the DMCA it says that using pirated images doesn't fall under fair use. He doesn't show that at all, and it's total bullshit, right?
What I liked though is that you didn't use pirated images,
and I didn't use pirated
and
images.
They continue to say that they all
that
admit,
I did. Oh wait, they all say I admitted to it. When did I fucking I'm not. Why?
Because they're lying.
Because they have to. I know. Because he's yeah.
I think he would use the word mental midget.
Yes.
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 On top of being an actual midget. But
hello, Amit.
No, it's funny because he uses the if it impacts the sales, and it's funny because I quote tweeted him that exact thing because he said if this was all true, you could just go to a movie theater and, record like 20 minutes and then make a video talking, giving commentary on it. And it's like, that's not really the same thing. In fact, there's 4 factors that courts look into when...
Not just the 3 he listed.
When looking into if something is fair use, right? And the 4th one is its impact or... it's not just its impact, but its potential impact on the marketplace. So a 20-minute video of a movie that's still in theaters is obviously going to be looked at differently than some gay book that's been out for over a year that nobody gives a shit about.
Yeah. And he's trying to claim that by this, and I think this is his logic here. Okay. I think what he's trying to say, and it's very difficult because he never actually makes a coherent point, is that if you pirated it in order to use it in fair use, then you denied him the economic benefit of buying his book in order to use it for fair use, which is not how it works at all, Eric. It's just not how it works at all, right? It's not there's no true economic impact from one person pirating a book or even taking screenshots of a pirated book.
Yeah, but
to do a review.
But
how many movies has he talked about? He says he don't go to the movies. He don't pay for movies.
But
okay.
Most importantly, they're just
it's just
there isn't an impact on its potential marketplace. This thing crowdfunded over a year ago.
Yeah. The book's been out.
Yeah. And regardless, criticisms are fair use. And Eric is just very thin-skinned.
Anyway, I'm ready to go.
Yeah. But Twitter has its own terms of service. I think is worth acknowledging. Again, they are forced to appeal to that DMCA stuff when they talk about copyright, but that doesn't mean they wouldn't take stuff down. They tell you this right here. They reserve the right to remove content that violates their user agreement. And in that user agreement, it includes copyright or trademark violations or other IP misappropriation, impersonation, unlawful conduct, yada, yada, yada. So they act like, let's say platforms, for example, even the market space wouldn't take down stuff that they feel were biting. It is just nonsense. Nonetheless, this is what Twitter says themselves about copyright law. Not law itself, actually copyright complaints, excuse me. Copyright complaints concern the unauthorized
Because a
distribution or
copyright
publishing of material
complaint
protected by
isn't
copyright
because of
law. Here are some
copyright
examples
law.
of possible
No, of
copyright
course
issues
not.
on Twitter. See right here, Twitter account publishing links to free downloads or of copyrighted protected materials, Twitter account using a copyright protected logo or image. By the way, yes, I get it. Big companies that are massive, they are able to appeal to things. Let's say this, they get things done quicker than, let's say, you or I or random Joe Blow would. However, there still is a review process. If it weren't a review process, anybody that got reported for any reason for copyright stuff would just be taken down immediately. It's a misconception that people have that, well, just because Twitter or YouTube just doesn't want to be a part of this, they just take everything down that's requested. That's simply not the case. Yes, there is false flagging. Yes, that is whack.
Okay, so yes, go to horny jail. He's acting like it was automatic, right? But the copyright owner has to make the complaint. Like, and then he does this little bait and switch thing with the Twitter review process, right? Those big companies, man, they can go out and they can just get shit taken down immediately. But us little guys, damn, they may not do that. They may not do that. I'm like, they do it for everybody. You can report something to Twitter as copyrighted, but if you're not the copyright owner, they'll go, yeah, we looked, yeah, whatever, we reviewed it, fuck off, right? If you're the copyright owner and you actually file a claim, go through the process of submitting the DMCA takedown request through Twitter, which is what you're doing, right? Make no mistake about it. You're telling them that you're willing to go to fucking court over this shit, and they go, oh yeah, shit, fuck, the law says we have to do this now. And it doesn't matter if you're Sony, it doesn't matter if you're Marvel, it doesn't matter if you're Eric fucking July. They will take it down immediately. And he uses the word review. See, there's a review process. There's a review. The review process is to make sure your paperwork is in order and that you gave them all the information that you need, signed the proper affidavits, and said, yeah, this is my copyrighted shit. That's the review process.
Yeah, they don't look into whether or not the use was fair use.
No, they don't.
Because they don't care.
All those people that sit there and talk about how they, won a copyright strike or whatever, it's because they sent in the counter notice, and automatically your shit go, after a process, it takes a little while. It takes longer to process that than it takes to process the initial claim, because the initial claim by law has to be taken down immediately. But shit goes back up, because after that, it's up to the copyright holder to get a judge to issue, a legal, God, it's late, a legal notice
takedown.
telling him, a legal takedown notice.
Yeah.
And he sits there and he talks like it's just, oh man, this is just Twitter's terms of service. And, of course, Twitter says they're going to take shit down, that they reserve the right to take shit down off of Twitter. They take shit down off of Twitter all the fucking time.
Yeah, AJ Carey just says, did he really just make sure to avoid all the big legal stuff attached to the TOS? Yes.
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 Yes. Nobody reads the TOS except me, apparently.
Yeah, Kaiser Crimson says he's really rubbing his face a lot. What was his favorite insult again? Crackhead?
Yeah.
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 All right. PR Memo says, incoherent rants from Eric July. His comic is also incoherent fixation on an empty warehouse. The Blaze isn't sending their best.
JD Kirby was asking when this happened. This happened just a couple of days ago.
No, he asked what happened. Eric July false struck Vicky. He put in a false DMCA strike when her usage was clearly fair use.
According to 3 separate lawyers.
Yes.
Been struck if we're talking about the Riververse, positively or negatively. Now, let's talk about what happened. Watch my previous video. This is what happened. There were 4 people that were taken down, yes, from Twitter. And I'm going to tell you what these guys did. Person number one, they posted an entire thread uploading every single page of Isom 1, every single one. Directly, it went to a pirated site, a site that pirated the comic. They took that and then uploaded each individual page in a thread. They also linked it as well. They did that as well, and the most egregious thing it is they did a dox company. On top of that, there's a guy posted 30 pages. We already got the receipts for this, by the way. Posted 30 pages directly again to Twitter, to X. Every single 30, just bam, uploaded them. No changes, not transformative, right? There's no, like, you know what, I guess Comic Story and those guys do for that reason, because they know Marvel will strike you if you start to get views on it. They don't strike everything, but they will strike you if you start to get views on it. If you're showing all the, like, just a mass amount of individual pages, let's say, from a book, especially a new one, they'll do that. We already got the receipts for this, by the way. Nobody's been struck for talking about the Riververse positively or negatively.
That's
yeah,
untrue.
And I want to go back to the very beginning of this part, where he says that they will strike you if you go through too many pages of a book. That's not true at all. There are plenty of YouTube channels out there. Crypto had one. He would read entire books and talk about them, and it was transformative, and he used voices and shit. You know, Crypto is, right. And there are other channels that
there's like actual big channels, like
yeah, that go through or even manga. They go through these things.
Read comics, and they do voices for the characters. It's all really good, actually. I enjoy some of those.
And they go through page by page, even new comics.
Yeah, especially new comics, because that's what people care about.
Yep, and they don't get struck for two reasons. One, because it's transformative, even though they show you every page of a book. And two, because these companies aren't fucking stupid, and they know that gives that actually brings them business. Yeah. Right? I mean,
yeah.
I can't decide, honestly, if he's just this stupid and doesn't understand how copyright and trademark actually work. I mean, I would assume that being a YouTuber for as long as he has, he would have a much better grasp of what is fair use. He sits there and he shows complete pages of comic books on his stream, and we know he's not paying for them. Maybe he has a subscription, but he doesn't consider that paying for them, by the way. He's said that plenty of times. If you have a subscription to Marvel or DC Electronic, that's not actually buying a comic, according to him. So, where do they come from? Right?
Who knows?
Who knows?
Who cares? He's a faggot.
Third person, excuse me. They created a photo to try to present it as if it came from the company. That actually happened. Isom photo acting like it was a promo, telling people to go to the pirated site to read it for free, and then they admitted that it was egregiously bad faith. That's specifically what it is they did. It's not my opinion. That's exactly what happened. They admitted flat out that, okay, yeah, that was Jack. They probably shouldn't have did that. Nobody's been struck for talking about the Riververse
untrue,
positively or negatively. The last person, which may be the less egregious of the three, is the bald head wench. But they have posted, we got on the count, there's some of them are still up, 8 pirated pages. And I think the thing about this that is really clownish is that they're too stupid to really understand that you're like reading a scan, right? From a page that you pirated, right? Or that page that pirated, that hosts it, and you took the screenshot from there, the same link that you all used here. And yeah, they did that, and they were misrepresenting what was happening of the works, right? Saying this thing happened pertaining to the color and all that, and what the colors did, but too stupid to understand. Well, that's just a bad scam. Okay. So with that being said, there was never a mass flag. Nobody's been struck for talking about the Riververse positively or negatively. People have done videos about the Riververse for the better part of 10 months, including -1, including showing pictures of pirated stuff. And yeah, you're showing a single image or here and there. That's nobody's taking you down for that. Nobody's doing any of that. People have talked about it, going into great detail, showing more than a few pages, showing 10, 20 pages. We don't have an issue.
That's actually really not like the defense he thinks it is. Because that really just shows that this is because he's butthurt. He's like,
Right.
no, it's not about that. I mean, Vicky, you showing what you showed impacted his sales, but other people have shown way more than that. That's
Yeah.
and
And
we
the
don't
whole
do anything. So then this is clearly about the fact that you're a fucking butthurt manlet piece of shit.
Yeah. So you guys in the chat who didn't get a chance to see my original tweet or heard me talk about it, it was 4 complete panels from 2 pages with a little bit of the surrounding panels attached. And it was showing this scene where Isom is in the club and he's talking to Darren. Anyway, the big bad guy in Isom 1. And that's, I guess it's supposed to be at nighttime or because it's in a club. So, but the lighting is just white. Like all the background is white. Everything's brightly lit like they're in a fucking cafeteria, right? Instead of a nightclub. And then Avery's shirt changes color. So it becomes like this magenta pink color instead of the bright red that it had been previously. And then there's this close up of Daryl, Big D, whatever the fuck his name is. And it's got all this wacky bisexual lighting, right? Like you're actually in a club. It's the only panel lit this way, because then the next panels are once again regular cafeteria fucking lighting. And then a couple and then you can see the partial panel that I had chosen. Avery's wearing a red fucking shirt again. But somehow this is because of a scan across 2 pages, complete changes, but it doesn't change the point that the lighting fucking sucked if you only had 1 panel in a club that was lit like it was in a club.
Yes.
Right.
And that's what she showed.
And that's what I showed. And that was the point I was making. And if I have, I'm sure earlier when Isom first came out, I probably did post some screen caps of it. I don't think I ever posted an entire page. I don't know. But if I posted, quote, 8 pages, so he struck 2 from 1 tweet. But there's more out there.
Apparently. Supposedly.
That he hasn't struck, even though it would be a violation of DMCA. No, it's because right now Isom 2 is on the market and he doesn't want anybody saying anything bad about Isom fucking 1.
JD Kirby. So his argument is that this came from a pirated source of his comic with a link that would take anyone to the pirated comic. Is that right? Or am I missing something? That is sometimes what he claims. Yes.
That's sometimes what he claims, sometimes what he doesn't. That's originally what he claimed. It's what
Vicky
that
kept
epic
sharing the
Mike
link to the pirated source, which she never did. She didn't get the image from the pirated source either. She got it from Reddit. So
yeah, I mean, this isn't everything that they have leveled against me is pure bullshit.
Yeah. And regardless, even if it was, what she did was fair use. Regardless, she gave criticisms, showed a minimal amount, and these are all things that factor into fair use.
I mean, it could be that it actually wasn't fair use because Racket said it was.
Yeah, that's right. Vicky went on Ricada. We'll talk about that a little bit.
Yeah.
Ricada said it was fair use, so there is a good chance that even if it was, now it is not.
Now it isn't.
Yeah. He has the power to do that. So let's just finish this video.
Freaking book, dude. Like, you can get a cup of tea if you want to sit up there and go through it and commentate on it while you're going through it. Nobody's knocking you for that, even if it's negative. Even if it's negative, you can do that. That's not what happened here.
All right, sure. So anyways,
okay.
we have this was Vicky's tweet, but you guys saw that.
Yeah, it's all over
It's
the
now
video.
the report verse. There's a teardrop. He's big mad.
He's big mad. Yeah.
No, you're good, man.
Yeah.
But I made a
fine.
video too, guys. My video is better.
What Twitter says themselves about copyright law. Not law itself, actually copyright complaints, excuse me. Copyright complaints concern the unauthorized distribution or republishing of material protected by copyright law. Here are some examples of possible copyright issues on Twitter. See right here, Twitter account publishing links to free downloads or of copyrighted protected materials. Twitter account using a copyright protected logo or image. By the way, yes, I get it. Big companies that are massive. They are able to appeal to things. Let's say this, they get things done quicker than, let's say, you or I or random Joe Blow would. However, there still is a review process. If it weren't a review process, anybody that got reported for any reason for copyright stuff. In terms of trying to correct the issue, they're quick to pull the trigger when it comes to removing content. This is what I've always had a problem with YouTube on this. They're quick to pull the trigger on removing content, but when it comes to trying to actually correct the mistake, because even by their own standards, by their own rules, in a lot of cases, you haven't violated anything, and they're so slow. It's like move like molasses, right? When it comes to actually reinstating that material, correcting the problem, they're not as quick on the pulling the trigger there as certainly they are when it comes to taking people's stuff down. So basically, at this point, it's bad press for the game, bad coverage of the game, copyright strike. Now there's a couple of different ways to go about this. Yes, predominantly who's going to be held liable, needs to be held liable for even going this route. Whoever's facilitating that, going around targeting creators, whoever it is that is facilitating this, they are suckers. Like, let's be 100% clear, they are suckers for doing that. I don't want to hold back on any of that. They are suckers for doing that.
Clown.
Yeah. And the best part, Cap's comment right there, if you want to buy the cover C and show every page, cover C is $100 because it's foil. Okay, so he's already selling the book for $35 after he announces to his entire audience multiple times that he's gotten this great print deal now, that he's going into issue 2 and has all these other books planned, but that those savings aren't going to be passed on to you because the book has more pages. Okay. Anybody who has not been around comic creators might buy that shit, right? But we all know that adding more pages to the book is really not that much more expensive. So he's probably paying maybe 10 cents more a book, but he's still charging $35 for it. And then he gets the Shane Davis cover C variant, which is foil. And because the foil, which probably cost him a whole nother $1 to fucking print, he's charging $100. Yeah, and it's a crappy cover. It's not so much actually the original cover pick that Shane did was okay. It's not great. It's Shane, right? But what they did with the cover was they zoomed in on Isom. He was breaking out of a brick wall. So you can't tell what he's doing. He's just sort of there looking like he's punching at something towards you, but it doesn't make any sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
$100.
So, yeah, he is doing a promo to buy Isom #1 for $12 compared to his charity buy for
Yes, you need to use
$17.50.
the promo code pirate. What a fucking that is not like the marketing plus he seems to think it is.
Yeah, what about promo code I'm a tard if I buy this? You know, I was talking to Vicky, guys. I was talking to Vicky.
Yeah, he does that sometimes, unfortunately.
Yeah, because I hate myself. I was talking to Vicky, and we were talking about some guy who kept saying that I was just jealous of Eric July's success or whatever. And like, there's actually a couple different things I'm going to mention on that. It's like, no, I shit on people. We shit on people that are very unsuccessful all the time. Literally all the time. You have Finatra, who is the most unsuccessful person ever. He tried to do like a launch stream for Liam, and he ended up getting like Liam like
Negative
refunded. Yeah. He oozes unsuccess onto others. That's how bad it is.
We shit on Dark Gift.
Dark Gift is also a very unsuccessful individual. We shit on John. Micah. It literally can't be about his success, because it never is any other time, because it literally can't be when you look at the other people we shit on. It literally can't be about success. So why would it be now? Right. That's one thing. But also, I forget where I was going with this.
We're not jealous.
Well, I mean, yeah, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. I don't care how successful he is. I don't care that he takes people's money. I want him to take these tards' money, because a
They deserve
tard
it.
does not deserve their money if they're willing to throw it away. Exactly.
True.
A tard does not
Exactly.
deserve their money if they're willing to throw it away, and I want him to be successful because he's taking tard money that's being thrown away, and they don't deserve it if, say it with me, they're willing to throw it away. Yes.
Yeah.
And
Very.
there was another person who was who was DMCA'd. His name's
He was
Riley.
the 5th person to be DMCA'd by Eric July.
Yes, all for parody, which was pretty funny stuff. Let's take a listen to his video. This shit's like rough. He gives off a school shooter vibe. I know that that's like the joke, but holy shit, it's a little hard.
If you haven't seen Riley yet, you're really missing out.
He can name his production company Bad Story, the black version of Bad Robot. Jesus. A negative energy. Tug. Pygmy. All right. Noodle arm. Promo code Noodle Arms. That's funny.
That was funny.
Well, look at this! Eric July's employee, Alex James Miller, has flagged down my Clipperverse logo from my shirt store! Okay! Sure! You think you can fucking flag my parody logo design from my website and get away with it, Alex? You're on my list too! I'm gonna teach you and Eric a little thing about fair use! Clipperverse.com, baby. See you in Texas very soon, Eric.
And then there's another one.
I don't know that I've seen this one. Oh, I have not.
And then when people criticize him or say, run up on me. We really gonna fist fight people, bro? Is that what we're doing? We're fist fighting people now? Run up on you?
Can I give a shout out to Riley, who's been
yes, he's been amazing.
my favorite part of this entire feud between Dick Vito and Eric July has been Riley. Riley has been the bright spot of that whole thing. It's him just every day filming a video of him walking up a hill until he's in good enough shape to run up on Eric July.
Yes.
And he's threatening to shave his beard.
DMCA, you're fucking hitting people. Which, man, if you do streaming, you know that's a mortal sin. You don't do that.
Jesus.
When the first time I saw his video, I think it was when he first popped up in that account on Twitter going after Eric July. It was when Eric July was, he made this comment about how he won't debate the fats because apparently we're all fats.
Is he? I like how he's now pretending, or maybe he's always pretended like he's in shape or something.
Oh man,
Because he's not. Like
that the video that Dean clipped, the old video of his that Dean clipped too. That was 3 years ago. It was a roly-poly little thing.
he's still not in
He's still kind of
shape.
roly-poly.
Yeah. Like
He's got that hard fat, is what I call it. You know, it's sort of like that tortoise shell that men get, that weird hard fat when they work out wrong. Anyway.
Yeah. Gotta respect
but-
that beat. Yeah.
But yeah, imagine. So he takes this guy down over parody. I guess because the logo itself, not so much the clip reverse part, but maybe it was the hat with the stupid lightning bolt horns coming out of it, which pretty much just looks like clip art anyway.
Yeah.
it's like clip art, and they just added a brim to the hat.
Yep.
In like MS Paint or something,
Yeah, it's not the most imaginative.
But what is interesting and is there are counterfeit shops on the internet selling Ripaverse t-shirts.
That's
right? Full on Ripaverse with his logo, and they're still up. He's not out DMCAing people actually making fucking money off of his shit, right? Like, perfectly legal. That is what the DMCA is for,
No,
right?
he wants to go after people making fun
But
of him.
no, he wants to go after people not even necessarily making fun, but being critical of him on the internet and being critical of his book because it sucks. And I'm not hearing great things about book 2 either, people. I'm sorry to disappoint you. I know you all thought that book 1 was just a one-off and he was going to come back with 2 and it was going to be fucking brilliant. No, it never happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of bad.
Yeah. So let's there's a
But
video.
I think that's really, and I'm sorry, I think that's really what grabs me the most. He's not DMCAing these pirate comic websites. He never DMCA'd Reddit, and it had been up on Reddit since the goddamn book shipped back in late September or October or whatever, right? Last year. Instead, I get struck.
Falsely. Because he's
So don't tell me
mad.
it's not because you weren't big mad, motherfucker.
Yeah, you flag it. Thin-skinned midget, I swear to God.
Thin-skinned.
Let me apologize for having the world's most retarded detractors. Months ago, we shot a drone video, which was recently released,
That's
and you
his
had some
favorite
idiots that insisted
video
that
opening.
we had too many pallet positions open, so our warehouse was too big. But never mind that. Let me show you something. Before we get cleaned up and start the day, as you can see, our fulfillment area looks like different. It's a lot more full. Those racks weren't really full, but they starting to get there right now. You can see our actual packing kind of station with our 3 different stations here. It's pretty full. That's the front of the house. You can see right here, shirt racks completely full. This is a lot more full than what the drone video, of course, showed. And yeah, we have some open pallet positions, but we were receiving 11 actually this morning. That's gonna fill that part up right there. The back of the house is pretty much full over there. Of course, we got our shirts and stuff right there. This rack is pretty much full. We are receiving some more product in a couple of days that will go right here as we fill up these posters as well. I get it, everybody on the internet's a guru, but you have to understand we have to have enough pallet positions to receive product as well. Our schedule is picking up. We got a few books that's going to be dropping within probably the next 6 months. And at any given time, we can receive 20, 30 pallets at a time. And yes, some of it goes out, but sometimes it's not going to go out. The goal isn't to be just filled to the brim to where you couldn't receive product that defeats the purpose.
Like, this guy with this pudgy face is going to make fun of somebody else's weight. The guy, when he talks, sounds like he has a mouthful of food. I don't know if anybody just heard that. I just picked up on it, but hold on.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
sounds like he has a mouthful of food, and he looks like he has a mouth full of food. Let's just watch.
That defeats the purpose. I'd advise that you
Defeats the
shut the
purpose.
fuck up when grown folks are talking.
Shut the fuck up when you're chewing food.
And the brilliant thing is he did this because Dick Masterson started asking questions about warehouse number 2 on Twitter. I don't even know if Dick knew he had a warehouse number 1, that this was warehouse number 2, right? But he was asking he was asking about it, like, you know, I guess it's 6,000 square feet. It's so he was trying to figure out basically how much this is costing Eric July, the warehouse. Now, I find it interesting with the I was under the impression that he had bought warehouse number 1. He talked like he had said he'd bought a warehouse, right? And so suddenly they were moving into warehouse number 2, and I'm like, did you manage to sell warehouse number 1? Like, what are you doing with warehouse? How good is the real estate market for commercial real estate where he lives that he was able to offload his warehouse already? And if he didn't own it and he was leasing it, how much did it cost him to break the lease? Like, was it actually a financially sound decision? I don't know.
No, there's just no way.
Right. There's just no way. So then I don't know if he's leasing this new warehouse or if he bought this new warehouse. It looks like it's in some sort of I don't know. I'm not down in warehouses very often. You are, Dean. Are they like you have these big interconnected warehouses and you only own a section of it?
Yeah, well, so like my work, it's one company that owns the land, but there's multiple warehouses and they are kind of like connected buildings, you know.
Right.
Like we just got, because we actually do have a full warehouse.
So it's like sort of like a condo.
Well,
you don't really own the land underneath it, but you own the building.
Typically, but you could own it. Like some places do own the land, you know, but typically not. No.
Okay. Yeah. So then he gets 2, right? 1 was never full.
No.
We never saw 1 even close to full.
And we were gonna watch his warehouse 2.0 video, but I'm a little worried he's gonna, flag it.
Yeah.
So I did a little bit of an edit, but I wasn't able to finish it because we were running late for the stream. But let's just take a look at just a few of the empty bays I noticed.
I'm just sort of this is my favorite part is he actually has 2 people while he's at his table signing books, which are all spread out because, he can't just have them in a stack, right? They have to be spread out for him to sign them. He has 2 people spreading out books on tables.
Yeah.
Because he needs 2 people to stand there. And I get it's probably just all performative for the stupid video, but it doesn't make you look like you've got employees that are doing important work.
No. He definitely does not have employees doing important work. So as you can see here, I've numbered empty bays. So there's 1, and there was 2, but it's now off screen. I'll just shrink this down just a bit. All right. It goes by really fast. This is at 40% speed, guys.
Yeah, it was a really quick. It's this drone footage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is oh, there was 3 actually. So there's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 empty bays. And then we get 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And then I ran out of time. But there's actually there's like
more.
16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. And there's even more than that, guys. I've never seen an emptier warehouse. My fucking God. This guy doesn't need this much space, and he definitely doesn't need that many fucking employees doing whatever the fuck they're doing. This is like a 3-man operation at most, I'm gonna be honest.
Well, he doesn't need 2 forklifts and 2 of those.
Oh yeah, he's got like the most fucking equipment ever.
He's got so much fucking equipment
for like a warehouse that isn't even half full.
But you know what? I bet you 10 to 1 they're going to be shooting band videos in it. That's really what he needs the warehouse for. Sorry.
I hope not.
Yeah, he just posted a picture on Twitter of his band's drums all set up smack dab in the middle of the warehouse floor.
What?
I guess you're not supposed to know it's his warehouse.
He's smuggling other things than comic books. But where is he putting it?
Where would he hide them?
Yeah, where? Because this thing is empty. This is empty.
It's bad. It's really bad. Yeah. There's no need for as many people as he has wanting. And I get it. Dude went, not only did he self-insert into his comic, he put his wife in it, he put his band in it, his social media manager. I mean, like, they all look like they're characters in his fucking book, right? And then he has to give them all jobs because that's what you do. I guess he thinks he's what was that dude's name? MC Hammer, right? Remember? MC Hammer gave everybody he knew work.
Yeah. And then it made him broke.
And it made him broke. I mean, it's not just their salaries, right? It's the payroll taxes. It's their one of the stretch goals from Isom 1 is that his employees were going to be full-time. So that's full-time with Benny's.
Yeah.
Right? So the benefits are expensive. The fucking workers comp. You know?
Yeah.
So when he says that it's $17.50 for just for his overhead per book, that he needs to, that $17.50 of every book sale goes to just his overhead. I can imagine. Look at the size of this warehouse.
But that's obviously untrue because he's now selling Isom for $12.
Well, that's Isom number 1. That's all overstock. So those books are already paid for. They're whatever was calculated into the necessary for bill shit is already, accounted for. It's like Ethan selling off his crowdfunded books on eBay. They're already paid for. It's like zero money. So those books are all profit. Isom number 1, you can, they can say whatever they want, but Isom number 1 now is just pure profit. The book's already paid for itself. It's paid whatever.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying with like the $17 was bullshit.
Oh yeah, I actually think it's more.
No. But for him to say that, because that was just like a month ago.
Well, that was for Isom 2. Yeah, I would assume
that
was for Isom 2.
No, that was the charity. Like
yeah.
Was that for Isom 2?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
It's the Isom 2 campaign.
Okay.
I think you could buy copies of Isom 1 with it, but it was
so you're just gonna give a bunch of kids like your fucking lame ass book, but all they get is number 2?
Well, no, he's also you could also send one.
Wait, but that
there
just
was
seems
a bundle
fucked
where
up.
you could get both. Yeah, there's a bunch of kids who are gonna get the second fucking book. Yeah, I know.
I like, first of all, you're giving them your gay fucking book that nobody cares about. That's fucked up. Do you want these kids to kill themselves?
Yes,
this is how you cause kids to kill themselves.
This is how cancer kids.
Cancer kids. They're just gonna be praying that God fucking ends it because they
dropping
got your
straight
gay
out of
fucking book.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But that's an insane amount of money needed for overhead.
Yeah, it is.
And now he's expanding, right? So he's going to have an animation department. I know. He's going to be hiring full-time, hiring Ripaverse animators. so they can make more of those really bad trailers that he had for Isom too. Yeah. And but you know, like, let the man can spend his money however he wants. I don't care. It's just fun to, you know, it'll be fun to watch.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't care if people buy his book. Go buy his book.
No, I want people to buy his book because tards do not deserve their money if they're willing to throw it away.
I don't even care if you liked it. It may make me question your taste.
The
and your
fact that you
judgment,
were
but
willing to buy it made you a tard to begin with. And you don't deserve your money because you threw it the fuck away.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. That's my thoughts on it.
That's my thoughts on it as well.
God,
Yeah, so
his fans
so
are
I
just
did.
so dumb.
Yeah, I did do that Ricada thing. I tuned in. I didn't even, you know, I didn't even think about it. I tuned in and I hear my name. Which is always so weird when you tune into a stream and you hear people talking about you. Because usually for me it's not a good thing. They're usually not saying the nicest of things. And that Epic Mike guy was on. And I guess he's part of that Epic verse. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to that at all.
Yeah,
It's the Iron Age movie studio shit.
that guy is a fucking loser.
Oh my God. So bad.
So
You gotta
obnoxious
go.
too. Like, shut the fuck up, dude.
You gotta go look at
Jesus.
some of the fucking movie posters for the Epic verse, right?
Is it bad?
They're bad. The
Yeah.
post there's that Ryan Kinnell, the
Oh,
racist G&G
yeah.
guy, is starring in one of them, and he's on the poster, and he's supposed to be all fucking like, I guess he's supposed to look kind of like a mercenary or a badass or something.
Mm.
And instead he's still like standing there in like this sort of like fake leatherish looking suit that's been all photoshopped to hell. Still looks like the kid that got beat up in elementary school.
Oh, poor guy.
And got, you know, yeah, got
Uh,
what Willie during lunch. I mean, it's just
bad.
yeah, bad.
That's great. Yeah, fuck
But
that
he
Ryan
was just
Kinnell guy.
he was
Anyways.
spewing so much shit, right? And apparently there's some Discord that they claim has a channel that is just dedicated to dropping Eric July's tweets so they can all go and you know, harass him and whatever. Apparently I'm in this Discord that doesn't exist.
What I love is, but they have all the receipts, Vicky.
They have all the receipts, and I
Never
have
mind
yet
the fact that the midget won't
see
show a
one.
single one. They have all
Right.
the receipts.
that Ripa goalpost account, which we all know is one of those fucktards. For all I know, it could be Epic Mike now that I've seen him in action. But it's one of those Ripa employees, right? It's either his wife or someone who works for him or this dude.
I like to think that it's even sadder than that. It's somebody that does it just because they want to.
I don't know.
I like to think that somebody is that fucking pathetic that they suck the fucking like literal fucking anal fluids out of Eric
Oh,
July.
gross, Dean. Gross.
Because they
That's
want
enough.
to. Because they want
Because
to.
it wants to. I
Yeah.
don't think
that
so.
is a
but-
life not worth living, by the way.
Well, it could. That's why I say it could. That's why. Well, you know, that's why that Eric, yeah, whatever his name is,
Yeah, I
Epic
hope
Mike
that it's
guy
not
would
an
be
employee.
a perfect fit.
It better not be an employee. I'm going to be very disappointed.
Yeah.
I want it to be somebody who lives a life that is about as sad as it fucking gets.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and Nick was actually he's kind enough to send me the link when he saw me in the chat. Thank you, Nick. Then we have our differences, and I still think you're a. I can't. But yeah, I was thinking about like 5 minutes or something, and then I dipped. But Nick agreed with me. The other attorney on there agreed that it was fair use. And I think
And so now,
I made
even
Mike
though it
shut up.
was fair use at the time, it is no longer fair use.
Fair use.
Thanks, Nick. You piece of shit.
Thank you, Nick.
You
Yeah.
piece of shit. Yeah.
But I think that's it.
Yeah. It was
Yeah.
it was a fun stream, guys.
I don't even SJW Cap says Loza, Vicky, actual fandom, organized chaos, all in a secret server. I don't even know Loza. Like I think I
think they're like a furry. I've seen their Twitter.
I've seen their Twitter. I see them occasionally. I don't think we've ever had more than maybe one interaction. And a reply here or there. But I don't know that person. I've never spoken with organized chaos in any form. Right? I mean, I've DM'd with Dane a couple of times. But I certainly never shared any link. There's not some big fucking conspiracy. They all just sounded like goddamn comic skaters, man. They sounded like fucking well-read Prime and Eimbrecht. With a dash of a lazamat thrown in.
I like this comment from SJW Cap. He says, "This conspiracy is ridiculous, which we discuss in the real Eric July Discord I run." That's great. All right, guys. I think we're gonna call it. Thanks for showing up. Cause you don't have
Sorry
to.
we were late.
I'm not. Fuck you guys.
I am.
You guys are tards, and your time isn't worth it if you're willing to throw it away. You fucking tards. You don't deserve your time because you threw it away watching us.
Listening to us.
You fucking tards. No. Good night, guys.
Good night, you guys.